Here we go. We're recording. So, very lucky today to be with these two beautiful people, beautiful couple who just recently got married, James and Stacy. And the first question I'm going to ask is, how did you guys meet? Same question I asked you this morning that you wanted to delay to today, which is fine.
Well, I feel like maybe we both have different answers for that because it's kind of blurry.
Should we send Jimmy out in the other room?
Compare answers.
Yeah.
Well, I remember seeing Jack read from his chapbook Money Poems. Money Poem? Money Poem. And we didn't meet this night, but I remember seeing him up there with a teal blazer, and he was making everyone laugh, and I just remember that's when you first made an impression on me.
He still likes teal. Look at his shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you get your palate set, you can't change. It's
I know.
too jarring for your loved ones.
And so, who approached who first?
Well, we didn't speak that night, but I met Stacy officially, as far as I recall, at our friend Drew's birthday party. And I met her, and then I met her boyfriend. Instantly disliked him.
Really?
Yeah, well, nothing personal against him. It's just like, oh, and this is...
What are you doing with my future
Yeah,
woman?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember that, though.
Yeah. But we were, we were both writers and living in Portland, and it's a community that's not so big. You kind of know everybody there that's interested in that.
Yeah, but at that time, were you thinking, Jimmy, she's got a boyfriend, I'd really would like to ask her out, but I really can't, you know.
Well, we were both in relationships,
Yeah.
and so we were just acquaintances at first.
You just admired each other from a distance
Until
we were out of those relationships.
oh, hold on.
What? Oh, yeah. You love to tell this story.
No, I think you should tell it.
The truth
No,
will
you
set
should tell
you...
it. I like it when you tell it.
You know, the truth will set you free.
Yeah. Well,
He's just refreshing my memory.
yeah. When my book came out in like 6 years ago or so, there was like a reading from it and a party, and there was bands playing and stuff. And after I did my reading, I was leaving the stage, and Stacy just walked right up and kissed me on the lips. But we were both still, neither of us was single. She had never indicated anything, any feelings along those lines before. But then I ran into her again with a friend like 6
No,
months
whoa, wait a minute. She came up and gave you a kiss, and then you jumped right to, I ran into her later.
Yeah.
What did that feel like when she gave you that kiss?
Oh, it was great.
Was it like just a peck, or was it like a...
It was pretty much a peck, yeah. It was pretty...
Pretty fast.
Yeah,
On the lips or on the cheek?
lips. It was pretty PG, I would say.
Really? Was it wet at all or no? Just
Was it what?
wet at all?
His lips. From sweat, maybe?
Yeah. Okay, so you just kissed him. Hey,
Yeah.
what did you do, run away?
Yeah, pretty much.
He ran
Run
away.
away, come on.
I mean, I honestly had had a few drinks, so
Yeah, but no woman kisses a man unless she's interested in him.
I guess that's true.
Yeah,
Would say so. I mean, here we
yeah,
are.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think nothing happened for several years after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Because
then,
still, the other relationships continue to pace, and
yeah.
it was just a nice memory.
And what were you thinking when you were going home and saying, wow, that was like, I didn't expect that.
Well, I'd
That
always,
was beautiful.
Yeah. I'd always, thought Stacey was beautiful and really admired her work and liked hanging around her. But I guess after that, it was the kind of thing where I started thinking about her, when she wasn't around a little bit. I think before that, I wouldn't say that I really thought too deeply about it, but yeah, I got kind of used to the idea after that.
That's so sweet. Okay, when was the next time he approached you?
I don't remember. We would see each other at events and like had a lot of the same friends, so we would like be at the same birthday parties and the same summer parties, barbecues.
But did you find yourselves talking to each other more every time? after the kiss?
No, I don't think so.
No?
What do you think? I vaguely remember.
Yeah, I don't think anything in our dynamic really changed after
Yeah.
that. We didn't really talk about it.
No?
But
Yeah, it was just kind of like
Hmm.
that happened, but like we didn't pay more attention to each other because of it.
Hmm. And then, when was the first time that somebody asked you out? Hey,
Oh, sorry.
when was the first time that somebody asked? Do you always like walking on people like this? Huh?
Yeah.
Do you always do that?
Oh.
I always do that.
Okay, well, wait till we have your interview. See what happens.
Should I have a few drinks before this interview, or?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. You want to learn from it? You can sit down.
Do you want to sit down and listen?
No.
No.
He's too scared.
Oh, you know what? Too scared. He's not ready yet for that kiss, I guess. Okay, so when was the next time when you actually? Let's fast forward to when.
When it
Who
started happening.
asked who out? Oh yeah, you got it better when it started happening.
Well, I don't know what prompted me to do this, but it was after my breakup. A few months go by. And then for some reason, I remember texting Jack and just asking him if he wanted to hang out. And, well, the thing that I said was, do you want to go to the park and read with me or something? And so,
And I knew it was a trap.
yeah, I know. Who goes to the park to read?
Wait a minute, read. The last time I saw her, she kissed me. Now she just wants to read. So anyway, you went to the park
Yeah, I went to the park.
and
And we had a very lovely afternoon there.
Did
Yeah, we did do some reading.
you didn't or you did?
We did.
Okay,
I
and
Do
then
you remember what you read?
what was
I
it?
remember I read, it was an excerpt from a Rebecca Solnit book called, what was it called? I need to get the title later.
That's okay.
But it was a Rebecca Solnit
But
book.
look, your mind wasn't on the book.
No, of course
Let's
not.
be honest.
And he had brought a book that he had already read, so
Oh, yeah.
that's proof. You know,
Of
he
course.
wasn't going there
Yeah.
to read a book for a
Yeah.
third time.
And if he needs to, or prove to you that he
Yeah,
reads a lot,
Right, exactly.
he could say, "Oh, read this. This is what I found in this book."
Right.
Okay, so but let's get back to the serious part. After the reading, was there another kiss?
Wow, it's like he's a fortune teller.
Was there another
There
kiss?
was another kiss.
Yeah, several, in fact.
Several kisses.
We
But
had,
then he had to go to work, so nothing. It was just that.
we had a nice afternoon, I think.
Yeah.
And,
You mean there was no like afternoon delight or anything?
No.
When did
Just the kiss.
when did afternoon delight take place?
when there was rocket ships in flight. And, I mean, so that happened, and then we kind of got together officially, like on that
Christmas
Yeah.
of 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
We were at a friend's Christmas party, and I gave Stacy a ride home and just asked her if she wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Do what?
You want to say it?
I can't remember your exact words, but you basically asked me to be your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
my response was, our anniversary is gonna be on Christmas.
Yeah. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And so, of course you said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never looked back.
Yeah. And then how long was it before you guys were officially with everybody? Was that at that moment? You were officially boyfriend, girlfriend,
Yeah. And so.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how long before you guys ended up moving in together?
About
was like-
7 months.
Yeah, it was like under a year, but by the time we started talking about it about
Is that
6
before you met
months
the
in.
parents or after?
Well, she met my parents, but
Yeah.
in her family, it's a little different. Where I think the expectation is you're not going to bring someone home unless.
It's serious business.
Yeah. So I introduced you to my parents 6 months into our relationship.
So how did you introduce it to them?
We went to a restaurant that we all like for breakfast. and
Without
then-
Jimmy?
Yeah, with him.
Oh, with
Yeah.
no, before him. Before that.
Mm-hmm.
When did you first break to your parents?
The bad.
Mom, Dad, met this guy. I'm in love with him,
Oh.
and I'm, I'm
Well-
really. He's the one, Mom, Dad. When did that happen?
It was probably like a few months before that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but don't you remember the night you walked in and told your parents about it?
No, it wasn't like that. It was more like I would subtly mention that there's this great person in my life, but I wasn't like telling her all the details.
Yeah. When did you
Yeah.
first show them Jack's picture?
Wow. I don't remember if I did.
On your phone, say, hey,
I don't remember doing that.
got good looking he is, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dad's looking at the picture going,
I
right?
don't remember doing that. I might have just waited until they met in person. Yeah. But my parents just loved him immediately.
Until you went out to breakfast together. And how'd you feel, Jimmy? Were you a little nervous?
Oh yeah, extremely nervous.
Yeah?
I mean, they're, as you know, coming from this family, a lot of families are quite so loud and expressive, and you don't always know what other people are thinking. And so yeah, I'm always nervous in a situation like that where I think I'm gonna be too loud. I'm gonna be and
Or like do the wrong thing.
do the wrong thing. Yeah.
Which you didn't.
Right, but it's a very, her folks are from a faraway place, a much different culture, and
Yeah.
I was concerned that there might be things I would do that would be like, without my knowledge, would be kind of considered rude or something.
Yeah, but it's hard because how do you know that stuff? Like, how do you know what to avoid?
But you already had your dad who had gone there on biking trips, right? Had you gone there too?
And
No, but it was I think Richard and your dad went to Vietnam and Cambodia, right?
Roger and
And
Pete.
And Pete, yeah. I think Richard went on that trip.
Well, we did go to Cambodia with Rich, but
Yeah.
not Vietnam.
Okay, so you already had somebody in your family who was attracted to the country. Maybe it was a prelude to this, you
You
know?
never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so also one of the first times, I think it was the first time you came over to my parents' house. Tell them about the painting you saw in the living room.
Oh yeah, it was the first time I went over.
Mhm.
They in their living room they had this massive, probably 8 feet wide, print of a painting of Portland Headlight.
No kidding.
Yeah,
And they had never been there. They
Right.
didn't know it was a real place.
yeah. And I started freaking out. I was like, I grew up, 10 miles from this thing. I was there all the time. They were not outwardly as excited as me.
Those are signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are signs of fate.
I was like,
Yeah.
have you been
Those
there?
are- those are
Like,
signs,
I got
big
it at
signs.
Costco.
Yeah. And so the first time I came to Maine, we took a picture of us in front of that lighthouse.
Yeah.
So when did you first meet Roger and Sue?
I met Roger before I met Sue. I also met Linus before we were dating because Linus came out to Portland and she came to karaoke with us one night.
Yeah. It was right around the time we
And
were
this
just
is like-
starting, just
yeah.
before that Christmas.
So I wasn't introduced to Linus as your girlfriend at the time,
But you were introduced.
but we were introduced. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, when I first met Roger, it was with Ted. They came to Portland, Oregon to visit us, and that was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we laughed the whole weekend, and I just had such a nice time meeting your family.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so then you came over here. You came to Maine as well,
Yep.
and you got to meet a lot of the rest of the family,
Yeah.
right? And then, at what point was it that you started talking about getting married?
We were like a year and a half into our relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who asked who?
Well, it was a like snowy day in Oregon, and we were going on a walk to get groceries.
Yeah.
And we had to stop by the store on the way there because he didn't have any gloves or a scarf, and it was cold out there. And so we go in, and I vaguely remember him asking, like, because I was kind of looking at the jewelry case
Yeah.
just to kill time, and he was
Just
like,
to kill time.
yeah.
No message being sent.
Well, then he goes,
The old antennas were up. A little right?
And he says to me, if you see anything in there you like, you should let me know. And then we were talking about, like, you know, what does that mean? Is that what you said?
Yeah. And then a few months later, we went out to dinner. It was Stacy's birthday, and went to this beautiful meal. And afterwards, I have the ring with me, and I'm like,
Okay, so before we leave for the dinner, we're like already outside of the apartment, and he runs back and he said, "Oh, I forgot my phone." I guess that's
Right.
when you went back to like.
because I had it hidden, and it would have looked too suspicious. She would have been like, "Why is he digging around in his guitar case before
Right,
dinner?"
right.
So yeah, so I got the ring's like burning a hole in my pocket, and then dinner's wrapping up, and I'm like, how am I gonna casually suggest like going for a walk or something like that without it being too obvious?
Right.
And just as I was thinking that, Stacy was like, "Hey, what do you say we take a walk after dinner?" So we walked out.
Are you a mind reader? Okay, and then what happened?
No, you were going to say it.
Okay, well, we walked out to this. The restaurant was close to this little park, like a little 1 block park.
Yeah.
And we're walking around, and Stacy, she had told me before that another non-message, non-hint, you know, just happened to
Being on the
remark
subject.
once that if she got proposed to, she wouldn't want the other person to be down on one knee. So, just
How many
filed
knees?
that away. You know.
How many knees?
You got
How many
3
knees?
or 4.
All two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went and sat on this tire swing together, and
Okay, let's wait a minute. Let's back up. Why not on one knee?
That's just, I don't know.
I'm just
I
curious.
I feel like if we're gonna be equals, like it's important for us to be
Oh.
on the same level.
we'll
you
be
know?
right back.
Because if he's on one knee, then I feel like I'm higher up or something. Like I think that we see each other as equals.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So without getting on one knee, we got in the tire swing, and hey,
Sorry.
no problem. So where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I was out on the tire swing, and I asked her to marry me, and she didn't answer.
answered.
She started crying, but and then after a few seconds, I was like, "So is that a yes or?" You know, that was the longest few seconds of my life.
Was it like last night? I mean, it was.
The crying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
It was
so.
similar,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Only it was like. That was probably the happiest crying you did your whole life. Not that last night
That
wasn't
was
happy, but that
special.
was the happiest
Yeah,
crying.
that was really special.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't even care about the ring. I just was so surprised and like in love when you asked me that.
You
Yeah.
cared about the ring a little bit.
I mean, it was a ring pop, so.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Ring
Come on,
fuck.
show it off. Oh, you didn't even have it on?
I don't have it on right now.
Wow.
I don't take it to the beach with
1
me
year
because.
I know, but this is the wedding interview.
Yeah, come on, it's the wedding interview.
Should I go get it?
I
If you
think.
don't have bad luck, you don't have to go get it.
I just don't like swimming with it
Just
on.
we're teasing you. You were teasing you. So then, how did you tell your parents? I mean, did you call them that night
Called
and
them
say,
like that same.
"Mom"?
Yeah, I think I called them or texted them because they were already fast asleep probably by then.
Yeah.
But
And I called my mother and Roger, even though by that time it was like 1 a.m. here, but just figured they wouldn't want to.
miss it.
I wouldn't want them to think I like went to bed not having told them.
Right. And they find out from someone else.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then after that, obviously, by then you're living together, are you?
We've been living together.
Yeah. And so the next step was planning your wedding.
Yeah.
It's picking a date. How did you pick the date you picked?
I think. Well, we went with July 7th. So
Yeah.
7/7 seemed like a lucky
Yeah.
day. And it was.
You would do that.
Yeah.
7/7.
And it was, yeah, it's easy to remember, you know? I'm not as worried I'm gonna like laugh.
20 years from now,
Yeah, exactly.
I know when our anniversary is.
August 8th, just like it always happens. But that was also the Saturday of 4th of July week last year. So I thought that since I had so many people that would be coming from the East Coast, to have like kind of an extra travel day, or
Right.
some people have time off around then,
Right.
might make it easier to get folks out.
Right.
And we knew that we wanted to get married in the summer.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, cute.
yeah.
And so I saw the venue. It was beautiful. And especially whoever was playing the clarinet. It was
Oh, the saxophone.
saxophone.
Oh yeah.
That was
So-
beautiful.
The friend
That
of the
was-
family.
Yeah. I'd never met him before the wedding.
But didn't it go from the saxophone to the clarinet to the... I thought there was a clarinet in there somewhere.
No, just a saxophone.
It was a small
So
one
it
though.
was a small one, yeah. So it was really, really romantic, I
Yeah.
thought, and when I saw the video.
Yeah.
Very romantic.
Aw.
And so what happened on the wedding night? Where did you guys go?
Well, actually, we went to bed because the next day we were flying to Kauai for our
Yeah.
honeymoon.
Yeah?
There was the reception went until about 10, and then we went out to
It was
a
a
bar
bar, yeah.
for a little bit, but
Did you wear your white dress the whole night? Or
No, I changed outfits a couple times.
that was a beautiful dress.
Yeah, thank you.
All the pictures I saw of that dress was just...
Aw, thanks.
And you made it look perfect.
Aw.
Yeah, it was a
Thank
great
you.
dress.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah.
Hot dress.
Yeah.
yeah, it was like 90 degrees that
Well,
day.
at least I wasn't wearing a suit. I feel like that would have been hot too.
It was a little warm.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
'Cause we had dinner outside. So
I saw that, the
yeah,
deck.
it
It
was
was on a
hot
roof
there.
deck.
Yeah. But I changed into a shorter dress for dancing and like taking it easy later that night.
And so tell me about the honeymoon.
Yeah, that was fun. It was my first time in Hawaii.
Yeah?
Too.
And when we rented a car, it was like only a few dollars more to upgrade to a convertible. So we got a convertible for a rental.
Super.
Yeah, so we like had the wind in our hair the whole time.
Yeah.
Just went to the beach every day. And
Yeah, we found this beach, Honolulu. It's like almost like the Algonquin of Kauai.
Yeah.
It's like a big, long, sandy beach like that, beautiful waves. And
we went there 2 days in a row, and I saw like a couple of the same families were there both days.
No kidding.
That kind of thing, yeah. And we also took this really awesome boat tour where it was us and like a couple other couples, and the guides would like pull into these caves and then let us go swimming, and they brought lunch for us. We saw like this really beautiful side of the island. That was really pretty, Nepali coast.
Sounds like a wonderful time.
Yeah.
So now let's we've had all this period of time. You met, the hot kiss, right? Going back to your relationships and splitting off, going to a reading, then taking that walk, and then the marriage and all that. So now you guys know each other pretty well, right? So now I'm going to ask you this question, like, okay, what's
the posture's changing.
What's the best thing that you love about Jimmy? And what's the best thing that you love about Stacy?
How can I pick just one thing?
Well, give me a couple.
Okay. Well, he's a really kind person. And I'm worried that I'm going to start crying now. But he's just, even when he has something tough to tell you, he'll tell it in the kindest way he can. And that's such an inspiration. And I appreciate that. It takes a lot of grace.
What was the most difficult thing to deal with Jimmy?
Well,
Being
that's all the
married
time we
to
had.
You're gonna have one of these.
The most difficult thing?
Yeah.
How do I say only one? I'm just kidding.
Did you say it?
Now we're not going to start crying.
Well, I think being with anyone would be difficult, you know. I'm not saying that, like, you're particularly worse than anyone.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Means a
But
lot.
you're in there. You're in that bucket.
Right.
Well, actually, we have a lot of the same temperaments. And so when we're both hungry, we're both, like,
Irritable.
grouchy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that's something I dislike about myself,
Yeah.
too. But we're pretty good at just being like, hey.
When was the moment when you said, and we're going to come back what you think is difficult about Stacy, but when was the moment that you said, oh my God, if I keep seeing him, my life is really going to change? We all have those moments. When was that moment when you said to yourself, you're so infatuated, you feel all that, the butterflies in you,
Oh yeah.
and you're going, oh, sorry. If I keep, will you get out of here? Can you stand in front of the door and just tell people not to come in?
Be the bouncer.
You just ruined a good moment. Okay, so when was that moment? You
Yeah, I
know,
remember because I was working at a coffee shop
yeah.
and he worked also downtown. The coffee shop was downtown.
Could you stand outside the door, make sure nobody comes in?
His office is downtown, and so, I, as someone who works at a coffee shop, I just sent my schedule to a few friends, including him, and I was like closing up shop one day with my coworker, and I hear it knocking on the glass window. Hey, it's okay. What? And then so he's knocking on the glass window, we're locked, and I just tell him, I'm sorry, we're closed, like, we're cleaning up, I can't unlock the door. Plus I was new, I didn't want to break any rules, especially for him, I mean.
Oh yeah, rule breaker.
Yeah.
Way back.
And how about you, Jimmy? When was it that you felt, whoa, you had the butterflies?
Yeah.
You said to yourself, if I keep seeing her, excuse me, are we leaving in 5 minutes, Sue?
What?
Are we still going at 5:30?
We have to leave about 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes still. Okay, so when was that moment? Sorry about that. I'm gonna trim all that stuff out.
Oh,
when they
that's fine.
interrupted.
I'll let you keep it.
No, I'll just trim it out when I finish the movie, so you won't see any of that. Okay, so when was the moment when you were alone and you're sitting there and she's like 100% on your mind and you're saying to yourself, if I keep seeing her, my life's really gonna change.
The moment that comes to mind isn't one where I was alone, but I remember feeling like that, like a little before Christmas that year when we were starting to date. We went up to Seattle for just like an overnight trip, and we spent the whole time together, and we were actually going to
Our friend.
Yeah, it's kind of a long story, but
Yeah.
our friend asked us to pick up a bunch of ring pops for this event, and we were like going around to different stores trying to buy up their supplies of ring pops, and just like holding hands, and you know, it was very stupid and very great. And
that's
after that
sweet.
trip, it was like that was it for me, I think.
Yeah.
And we still think about that Rite Aid where we got the ring pops. Like whenever we visit
our Rite
Seattle, it's our Rite Aid. Where we found the
We like Rite Aid. That's beautiful.
So what's your favorite and least favorite thing about me?
Oh, you want to come back to that? Okay.
Oh yeah, she didn't forget that one.
Oh man, I mean, I think
The truth will set you free.
yeah, no, it really is hard to pick one thing. I think
Why you say there's multiples?
yeah, for good, this is the good things. Now.
Yeah, okay.
But I think that Stacy's really genuine, and you know, you never have to worry that she's not telling you what she really thinks. And if she says she likes something, you know, she really likes it, and it's just nice to be with someone who's that way, just like.
So you knew when she said "I love you," that
Yeah,
was
there was
real.
no bullshit.
It was all real,
Yeah.
right?
Well, like I think Stacey's has a similar temperament to her father, and I remember when we were starting to, you know, get to know them, or when I was, we went over there for Memorial Day, and I made a strawberry rhubarb pie. Thought I would really score some points with that. But her dad turns out doesn't like sour food, so he just took one bite, said it's too sour, and he put it away. But then I made another pie the next time we went out, and he ate it right up.
Ate
And
it
I was
all.
like, I know he likes that.
It's an apple pie.
And I think Stacey's kind of that way. So,
Yeah.
Well, we covered a lot of ground tonight.
Yeah.
Now, how about the things you don't like?
I think that it's sometimes challenging to be with someone who's so out of your league. It's,
So what?
people look so far out of your league.
Yeah.
I think people, are like, what's she doing with him?
Aww.
Knowing that that's the thought everyone has.
Well,
No.
Stacey, to be quite blunt with you, last night after that dinner, I had several people come up to me in a complimenting way and say, "Wow, Jimmy really married up." So that's a beautiful thing, right? So look, this has been very sweet.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'd like to add to it at the very end is try to duplicate that kiss that you gave Jim. And maybe embellish it a little bit more.
We'll do that, but
Yeah.
just not on.
Why don't we want just a nice little kiss, please, Jim?
I think it's better just for us to have.
I could
that.
see that she would like that. I see that in her
Just kiss me on my
eyes.
cheek.
There you go. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you
The
so
real one
much.
was-
Thank you so much for
Yeah, thank you.
allowing me
Thank
to
you,
do
John.
this. You know I love doing this.
Yeah.
And especially with you, my favorite nephew.
Aww.
It's on video now. There's no
Oh, yeah.
words.